Now at 7 o'clock, 2 people hit in 2 separate crashes overnight in Portland. One of those people died at the hospital. Coming up, a breakdown of exactly what happened.
Plus, a woman in Salem says she's left feeling helpless after being hurt in a hit-and-run crash. What the owner of the car that hit her told police and why no one's been arrested yet.
Also, a quick reminder that our KGW school supply drive is underway. Big week this week. First full week of giving. Coming up, we're going to show you how your donations help thousands of kids and their teachers in the area go back to school with all the supplies they need. The 7 o'clock hour of Sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. We're going to check in with Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill handling weather and traffic. Man, Rod, yesterday was really cool for the most part, and you've got a few more cool days ahead.
Yeah, we do. It was only 74 yesterday. Today I've got us at 76. So what a comfortable start to the month of August, right? There's a low pressure center down here in south central Oregon that's feeding of eastward progression of showers. We had storms around Bend yesterday, but that storm chances ended, and the morning early showers will be ending too. You folks will want to be mostly sunny this afternoon in central Oregon with the storm threat marching farther east into Idaho. Here on the west side, we're all dry, but we're waking up to cloudy skies for the most part, or mostly cloudy skies anyway. 58 degrees in Salem, and here's a live look over downtown Portland. We're mostly cloudy and 60. Our planners should be partly cloudy at noon, 68. And then partly to mostly sunny becoming this afternoon. And again, that comfortable temperature of 76 degrees. Here's Chris.
Thanks for that. I want to get you back to that traffic alert on the east side. You're looking at video shot within the last 90 minutes near Glendevere Golf Course, northeast Halsey, just west of 148th Avenue. A really scary looking crash where it appears a Toyota pickup truck or SUV there rolled on its side. One person was transported from that crash scene in an ambulance. I'm not sure at this point of the extent of their injuries, but obviously kind of a scary scene there. Now, as we get back live, it looks like they're in the process of clearing that vehicle, but at this point, eastbound Halsey still having to kind of work around that. Again, this is just west of 148th Avenue. All right, let's get you back to the drive right now. Again, on the east side of Portland, near Glendevere, it looks like that crash scene is in the process of getting cleared out. Back to the I-5 drive. This is slow. We had a fender bender near Mill Plain. That has been moved to the shoulder. You can see it there over in the left shoulder. But the traffic is stacked up right now in Clark County on that I-5 commute. We're looking at about 20 minutes or just shy of that to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. China?
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this morning, 2 pedestrians were hit in crashes overnight. One of them died.
The crashes happened in southeast and northwest Portland. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live from the scene of the fatal crash in northwest. Thomas, what else do we know about this?
Well, guys, this crash happened around 11:20 last night, right behind us at Northwest Yon and 44th Avenue. Portland police say when they responded, they found a pedestrian seriously injured. Paramedics then came to the scene and transported that person to a nearby hospital where they later died. Police say the driver involved remained at the crash scene and cooperated with police. During the investigation, Northwest Yon was closed between Northwest Express Avenue and St. Helens Road. It is now back open. About an hour and a half before that, Portland police responded to another crash in southeast Portland. That was on southeast 122nd and Ash, where another pedestrian was hit by a vehicle. Once police arrived, they found that pedestrian seriously hurt. Paramedics transported them to a nearby hospital with life-threatening injuries. The driver in that investigation also cooperated with police and remained on scene. During that investigation, southeast 122nd was closed between East Burnside and southeast Stark. Of course, we do know that person was transported to the hospital. We don't have an update on their condition beyond that they suffer from life-threatening injuries. Now, as for both of these investigations, Portland police are asking anyone with information to contact them. Drew, Jenna.
Thomas, thank you. In the meantime, Portland police are also investigating a shooting in Old Town over the weekend that sent 2 people to the hospital with serious injuries.
It happened early Sunday, right around 2:30 in the morning at Northwest 4th and Cooch. KGW's Jake Holter brings us more from Old Town.
Gunshots rang out early Sunday morning after an Old Town bar closed. Police say the shots came from a crowd of around 100 people in a parking lot. 2 victims were found on scene, a male and a female. But when officers tried to help them, they say around 50 people tried to push past them, quote, significantly outnumbering them.
It is really, really unfortunate, and I wish that the two people are going to be okay.
James lives in Old Town and works at Charlie's Deli right near where the shooting took place.
I don't want to lie and say that I haven't noticed the uptick in violence in the city the last couple years. It's definitely there, but I feel like it's all over the city and honestly all over America.
He says while incidents like this are scary, it hasn't deterred him from Old Town.
I personally feel safe, and I don't feel like incidents like this happen every single day or too often to where it should keep people away from downtown.
Both victims were taken to Legacy Emmanuel Hospital, where officers responded to a lockdown after a couple dozen people were trying to get into the emergency room and acting, quote, hostile towards hospital security officers. Police say the man's injuries are critical and the woman's are believed to be non-life-threatening.
That was Jake Holter reporting. It's still unclear what led up to that shooting. Detectives are asking anyone with information or evidence to come forward.
Over on the east side of Portland, police arrested a man in the Hazlewood neighborhood after a standoff that lasted roughly 8 hours. Police say 51-year-old Robert Engelsman climbed onto the roof of a building on East Burnside Saturday morning and then refused to come down. The standoff started around 7:30 and Engelsman didn't surrender until about 3:30 in the afternoon. He faces multiple charges, including domestic violence and felony strangulation. Meanwhile, a 1-year-old is safe this morning after someone stole a car in Portland with the baby inside and drove it to Eastern Oregon. The Gillum County Sheriff's Office says the suspect stole the car Friday afternoon. Deputies then used an Apple AirTag to track it going east on I-84 and arrested the suspect at a truck stop in Morrow County. The baby was found and was not hurt.
Portland police are investigating a shooting call that turned out to be fake. There was a large police response just before 10 Saturday night at a home near Northeast 165th and Russell. Police told us that a person called the non-emergency line and claimed to have shot multiple people. Officers were not able to talk to the person who called. And Portland police are trying to figure out how a car ended up in the Columbia River and what happened to the driver. Deputies were called to Northeast Marine Drive and 122nd around 8 a.m. Saturday. And they found a car on its side, but no driver. They say there is a possibility that the driver may have died, but they are still investigating. If you know anything, call Portland Police.
Fire officials have dropped all evacuation orders for areas impacted by the Burdoin fire burning on the Washington side of the gorge in Klickitat County. That fire is 94% contained at this point.
Interior of the fire lines, there will continue to be smoke that's produced for days or potentially even weeks as hot spots get reignited with wind or dry conditions. So it should be expected that if you're traveling in the fire area, you will see smoke for the foreseeable future.
About 250 crew members are still working this fire, focusing on flare-ups that threaten homes or their fire lines. When the Burdoin fire was at its peak, about 1,000 firefighters were on the job. There is still no word yet on the total number of buildings it destroyed or damaged.
Headed over to Rod Hill now for a look at weather. Some rain this week. Welcome news for firefighters.
Yeah, I mean, overall, our fire season, if your home has been damaged by fire, it's been a horrendous fire season, I get it. But overall, the pure numbers, just looking from afar, really good. We've got only 2 large fires named burning in our state right now. They both show good containment. They're both out near the Idaho border, burning in grasslands. Here's Chinookwi's Casino Resort in Lincoln City, showing a cloudy start to the day, where sunshine is expected to develop. It is 52 right now. This is kind of a cool shot, a mixed bag of everything from Timberline Lodge looking south down the Cascades. So you see some blue up top, but a lot of cloudiness. There are showers still down in parts of Deschutes County, but those will be ending this morning, and then all of anything near the Cascades over in Central Oregon will experience a dry day. Here's a look at the cloud cover over on the west side from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha. Portland's at 60. We'll be 67 degrees at noon today, and then warming up to about 76 at 5 p.m. So real comfortable weather continuing without question. Our other temperatures of the metro as you get going, again, winds are light. Not really seeing any issues. 58 in Westland, 58 degrees in Tigard, and it's a 58-degree start in Salem. We'll have your 7-day coming up. It does feature a chance of rain on Wednesday, and then we get back into some hot weather this weekend. But today, really nice. Here's Chris.
Thanks for that. I want to pick it back up in Northeast Portland. This is the scene of that earlier bad-looking crash that involved a Toyota that was flipped on its side here. One person taken away to the hospital earlier this morning, just west of 148th. You can see Portland police still on the scene. photojournalist Chad DeHart tells us that they just got that car uprighted on a tow truck, and they're working to get that clear. But be on the lookout for that. In terms of your freeway drive this morning, it's busy but moving okay. There's I-5 near Mill Plain. We had a crash there a few minutes ago. That has cleared, but obviously that'll add to some of the local slowing. Your trip getting in from Main Street down to the Fremont Bridge is up to about 16 minutes. Quick check at the Banfield. This has flushed out a little bit after some earlier trouble, so we're in better shape there. Right now, westbound I-84 moving right along now. 17 minutes to get you in from Troutdale. China?
Chris, thank you. Still ahead here at sunrise, the warning from officials in Montana as a massive manhunt for a man accused of killing 4 people at a bar on Friday continues.
Also this morning, a reminder that the annual KGW School Supply Drive is underway. It's happening right now. After the break, we're going to hear from our nonprofit partners at Schoolhouse Supplies. We're going to explain how your donations help us send thousands of kids back to school with all the supplies they need.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
The 18th annual KGW School Supply Drive is underway. Every year through our partnership with Schoolhouse Supplies, the drive helps thousands of kids go back to school with all the tools they need.
Christy Pinawantich visited the nonprofit to see what happens to all the money and supplies that you donate.
She's kind of a little full right now.
It is packed here at the Schoolhouse Supplies free store in Southeast Portland.
See my warehouse. It looks like the closet that you're just like, let's just
put it over here.
We'll put it over here and we'll get to it in a little bit. Yeah.
Program manager Emily Stumpf showed us around, and this spot is stocked with supplies.
We are very prepared for the start of the school year.
During the year, teachers from schools where at least half the students qualify for free and reduced lunch can show up once a month to get anything.
Ranges from backpacks to spirals.
The KGW School Supply Drive has partnered up with Schoolhouse Supplies to send more than 15,000 kids back to class with all the tools they need.
For 25 years, we've been providing free school supplies to underserved kids. And we are proud to be the charity partner for the KGW School Supply Drive.
Executive Director Alice Forbes says the partnership is a critical one. Many students in need show up on the first day of school without the necessary supplies, and teachers spend an average of $200 to $1,000 of their own money to support students. That's why getting involved in the KGW School Supply Drive makes such a difference. 100% of donations go to schoolhouse supplies, which then helps local teachers and kids.
We're grateful to KGW and everybody who shows up to make a donation, to volunteer, to help out in their local school. And we just want to say thank you.
We're giving students and teachers the ability to breathe and create and grow.
In Southeast Portland, Christine Pedawanich, KGW News.
Well, we say this part all the time, but only because it's true. The easiest way to give is by just hopping online. You can go to kgw.com/school, click that donate cash button, and when you give online, you're also going to get something. We're going to give you a pass to the Columbia Sportswear Employee Store.
Hello.
I don't know if you need incentive to help people out, but we're giving it to you through the KGW School Supply Drive. Also, this week, a great week to give in person at On Point Community Credit Union. For every $1 that people donate at one of its branches this week, On Point will give $5.
Wow. That's a deal.
It is a deal. You give $1, they match it with $5. On Point has been a huge supporter, backing this effort for years now. So we appreciate, again, On Point being a part of this year's KGW School Supply Drive, along with Safeway and Rick's Custom Fencing.
All right. Imagine they're basically saying, you know, I give you $1, you give me back $5. It's kind of what On Point's doing. It's a great deal.
No, it's very good.
I like it.
Incentive to give in person this week out there. Hey, quick look outside.
Oh, pretty.
Salem Tasting Room Skycam in Sherwood. China, you weren't in Sherwood this weekend, but you were out in Bend visiting Central Oregon. What was it like out there?
It was beautiful. My husband and I took a motorcycle ride out there. It was our first trip of the summer, and it was perfect weather. We stopped in Detroit late. We got a little burger on the side of the road, and we call it FAF.
That's roadkill, they call that, burger along the side of the road.
What?
I mean, did you go into it?
I don't want to hear about her motorcycle ride and roadkill in the same sentence.
No.
You guys rode together on a motorcycle from here to Central Oregon.
Yep.
You're allowed to do that with your contract.
What?
I'm surprised they let you do dangerous things like that.
It wasn't dangerous. He's a very, very safe driver.
All right.
Fun. Yeah.
We ruined your nice weekend, didn't we?
Yeah.
With our
Come on, guys.
Comments.
Buzzkills over here. My goodness.
Let's get you going. I mentioned earlier, fire season, in terms of pure numbers, is looking good. Again, only 2 fires burning in Oregon. Both of these, the Lake Creek fire and the Rock Creek fire, show pretty good containment. Lake Creek fire kind of bouncing up near the Blues, but they jumped on that blaze in a hurry. The Burdoin fire really in the wrap-up stage that we've been mentioning. The other fires are up in northern Washington at this point. We do have rain showers on the radar near to outside of Bend, where China said she missed all the storms, but there were pretty good storms that fired up there yesterday afternoon. We had 1-inch hail. We had 60-mile-per-hour winds. We had some tree damage being reported. Right now, most of the action is already shifting over toward Burns in Harney and Malheur counties, and that storm action threat continues to work over toward Idaho this afternoon. So here's Futurecast at 2 o'clock. The rest of us will be dry. Sunshine coming after kind of a cloudy start in Central Oregon, and we will see increasing sun here on the west side as well. Here are the storms at 2 o'clock bouncing over LeGrand. There could be some good ones. Big time downpours. That's really been the story. You know, all the lightning we've had, not every single day, but most in parts of our state going back to last Monday. But there's been so much rain come with the lightning, it's really diluted the fire start. So that's good news. And there's some downpours expected once again today. Tomorrow, no rain chance across our state. We'll be all dry. Here's Tuesday morning at 8:05, kind of another partly cloudy day overall. And could this be true? A wave of Pacific moisture comes in. The cloud deck lowers and thickens Tuesday overnight into Wednesday. And then we have at least the threat of some Wednesday showers coming in. Weather models like some heavier showers embedded. You see one near Tillamook in yellow and up around Astoria and Longview. This is Wednesday at 7 o'clock in the morning. The shower threat for scattered precip continues Wednesday noon into the evening hours, in fact. And then we go all dry on Thursday. It's very difficult to get rain this time of the year. Statistically, it's our absolute bone driest time of the year here in the Willamette Valley. This shows we could get over 1/10 of an inch of rain in Salem and Portland. Personally, I think that's probably overdone, but nonetheless, we'll look to see if we can get some rain Tuesday overnight and during the day on Wednesday. Nice morning out there. We have a lot of cloudiness, 60 degrees. Again, we'll be seeing increasing clouds, or sunshine, during the day. Some breaks down in Oregon City from the camera at the end of the Oregon Trail Interpretive Center. Kelso 50 68, good morning. You're being reported as mostly cloudy as well. Valley forecast numbers today will in fact hold in the 70s again. That's where we were yesterday, so very comfortable. 76, tomorrow 77. The clouds and the rain shower chances on Wednesday. After that, we warm up. Sunny skies getting back up to 90, it looks like, if not Saturday, Sunday of next week. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We've got a TriMet alert. TriMet reporting a power outage near southeast Flavel, and right now that is disrupting the Green Line. So heads up, anyone using the Green Line. Right now they're using shuttle buses to serve stops between southeast Maine and Clackamas Town Center. We'll keep you posted on this. Obviously, you can expect some delays on the Max Green Line moving forward here. Back live to Northeast Portland, photojournalist Chad Dehart on the scene of an earlier crash on Northeast Halsey. This is just west of the intersection with 148th Avenue. A fairly bad-looking crash scene where a car was on its side earlier. At least one person was transported to the hospital there. It looks like that crash scene is in the process of being cleared out, but traffic still may be a little slow around that. I-5 from Clark County, a little bunched up, approaching the Interstate Bridge. Normal, of course, for this hour of a Monday morning drive. Right now we're looking at 16 minutes to get you in from Main Street down to the Fremont Bridge. True?
All right, Chris, I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on this fire in Utah. It's exploded. This huge wildfire there has now exploded to more than 61,000 acres. We're going to have the latest on containment efforts in our national headlines right after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back to Sunrise. The search continues in Montana for the man accused of shooting and killing 4 people at a bar. NBC's Kathy Park has the latest as investigators warn people that the man could return to the town where the killings happened.
The urgent manhunt underway for 45-year-old Michael Brown, accused of killing 4 people in a Montana bar Friday. This map showing part of Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest, closed until further notice, where law enforcement is searching for the suspected killer.
We've got a lot of expertise and a lot of knowledge of the area. We've got every cabin, every hunting site that's known up there pinned.
Today, officials offering a $7,500 reward for any information that could lead to Brown's whereabouts. Officials released this photo Saturday showing Brown nearly naked, saying they now believe he went to another location shortly after the shooting, ditched his clothes, then stole a truck.
At this point, we have every reason to believe the suspect is fully clothed, shoes on his feet, able to get around. We do know the individual had access to firearms. We believe he was probably still armed and dangerous.
You mentioned there is a potential that he could come back to the community.
Well, it's certainly something we have to be worried about, right? I mean, this is an individual who chose at 10:40 in the morning on a weekday to walk into an establishment where he was known, where he likely knew everyone in there, and he opened fire and killed everyone.
Those victims include Daniel Bailey, David Leach, Tony Palm, and Nancy Kelly, a retired nurse who was working at the bar part-time.
She was definitely a people person. She, because it is a small town, she was an oncology nurse. She treated a lot of people.
Brown is no stranger to the small community of Anaconda, an Army veteran known to law enforcement and, according to acquaintances, flagged for mental health concerns. Tonight, officials urging residents to remain on high alert. Kathy Park, NBC News.
Here's a look at some other national headlines with your morning rush. Democratic lawmakers in Texas left the state on Sunday to block a Republican-backed redistricting plan supported by President Trump. The plan could eliminate 5 Democratic U.S. House seats ahead of the 2026 midterms. By walking out, the Texas Democrats temporarily halted this vote. Republicans say the plan would fix district boundaries in Texas that were drawn in the past with racial favoritism. Democrats argue that the new plan would suppress minority voters. The Monroe Canyon fire in Utah has exploded to more than 61,000 acres, making it the largest in the state. Rough terrain, high winds, and dry fuel are also making this a really difficult fire for crews to tackle, and the cause is still unknown. Starting at the end of next month, the U.S. government will stop sending out paper checks for federal payments. That includes Social Security payments. The effort to fully modernize the process aims to both save the government money and fight financial fraud. It starts September 30th. And about 3,200 Boeing workers in Missouri walked off the job at midnight after voting down the company's 4-year contract offer, which, by the way, included a 40% pay bump, better vacation time, and sick leave. The workers who walked out are responsible for building fighter jets and missile systems. And that's a look at your morning rush.
People will gather downtown by the thousands, and they will sit at our community tables. They will order food.
Coming up in our next half hour, we're covering the protests in downtown Portland over the weekend, why some business owners say these protests are good for business. Sunrise continues after this.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We are coming up on 7:29 on your Monday morning commute. We start with a TriMet alert. Right now, TriMet reporting a power outage on Southeast Flavel, and right now they're using shuttle buses to serve Green Line stops between Southeast Main and Clackamas Town Center. So obviously expect some delays moving forward there. Keeping it on the east side, your drive southbound out of Clackamas to West Lynn over the Abernathy Bridge really slow right now. rolling through Westland. I don't have any reason for this hang up other than maybe the construction, but right now 14 miles an hour. You're puttering along there on southbound 205. And last but not least, up to Clark County, slow and steady over the interstate bridge, that commute in from Main Street. Holding still right around 18 minutes or so to get you in from Main Street to I-405. Rod?
All right, Chris, thanks for that. Good morning. We have another comfortable day in the 70s. Yeah, look at us. We are seeing some shower activity this morning. It's been moving out of central Oregon and moving up farther across southeastern Oregon and Harney County, Malheur County. Generally looking for an ongoing chance of scattered thunderstorms into the afternoon. But we'll be all dry here on the west side. There are the early morning cameras, and your day planner takes us up to 76.
7:30 half-hour sunrise, and we kick it off with this. Superman has landed in statue form. Cleveland, the city of Cleveland, just unveiled this $2.2 million monument honoring not only the Man of Steel, but also his creators, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. These two dreamed up the Superman idea in their Cleveland neighborhood about 90 years ago.
Really?
I don't know anything about their story, but here's a little bit.
All right.
So back in 1938, National Comics Publications, now known as DC Comics, gave Jerry and Joe $130 each for this idea of Superman. Not a lot of money, right? I mean, it'd be worth $3,000 today, but still not a lot of money when you consider that this idea turned into a multi-billion-dollar character. That tribute, by the way, also gives nod to Siegel's wife, who was the real-life inspiration, apparently, for Lois Lane.
Whoa.
Really? Pretty cool. China Green, what do we say to all the supermen and superwomen watching the show this morning?
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. We have a jammed-packed newscast today, but first we're going to start you off with some weather.
Highlighted with the Superman trivia. I like that. Here's a look at our easy. Here's a look at our Snookwiz Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. Cloudy skies. This does appear to be a day that will see increasing sunshine going into the afternoon for you. Right now, 53. There are breaks in the cloud cover, but generally mostly cloudy over downtown Portland to begin our Monday. We are at 60 degrees. We stay comfy today. 67 at noon, increasing sunshine. How about that? Worth a kiss. Mwah! Only 76 degrees. Here's Chris.
Thanks for that, Rod. Let's get you out the door with a quick look at your drive times. Guess what? Not that bad. For this hour of a Monday morning commute, we are zipping right along. 20 minutes gets you in from Troutdale on Interstate 84. I want to take you back to Westland. Whatever was causing this hang-up south of the Abernathy Bridge on I-205, looks like that is cleared, so I'm happy to report that. But you get a little farther south and deeper to Westland, and the traffic does slow just a little bit. We'll keep you posted on that. Also, on the east side, TriMet letting us know about this, a power outage on Southeast Flavel right now, causing some issues on the Max Green Line. The Green Line is disrupted right now, and they're using shuttle buses to serve stops between Main Street and Clackamas Town Center. So obviously expect some delays moving forward on the Green Line. Shina and Drew will keep you posted.
Thank you, Chris. Two pedestrians were hit in crashes overnight. One of them died. The first crash happened at 11:20 last night at Northwest Yon and 44th Avenue. Once officers got there, they found a pedestrian seriously injured. Paramedics transported the pedestrian to a nearby hospital where they later died. Police say the driver involved remained at the scene and is cooperating with police. And about an hour before that, Portland police responded to another crash in southeast Portland. On Southeast 122nd and Ash, a pedestrian was hit by a vehicle. Paramedics transported them to a nearby hospital with life-threatening injuries. The driver in that investigation also remained on scene and is cooperating with police.
A Salem woman says her life has been turned upside down after she was hit head-on just over a week ago. The crash totaled her car and left her badly injured. And as KGW's Jake Holter explains, police are still looking for the person behind the wheel of the other car.
I saw the black car and I thought my life was over.
Teresa Briggs sharing with us her experience being the victim of a hit and run.
My life is completely turned. I no longer have a vehicle. I house at-risk youth. I can't transport them to and from their appointments. I'm scared to drive.
In the early morning hours last Sunday, crews arrived on the scene of a head-on collision near the intersection of Broadway Street Northeast and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parkway in Salem. Teresa taking us to the scene.
I was on my way home heading from West Salem, and I'm driving, listening to my worship music, and all of a sudden I see a black car with no headlights and no license plate veer across the median onto my side head on, sending me spinning across into the oncoming traffic.
What follows, Teresa says, is even more frustrating.
Once their vehicle stopped, they took off and fled the scene.
Salem police tell us they were told the driver of the car fled on foot. Officers searched the scene but did not find the suspect. The owner of the car, who police say was a passenger in the car along with another passenger, remained on scene. According to the police report, the passengers said they let a stranger who wasn't drinking drive them home from the bar and that they did not know his name, which police noted sounded improbable. The police report adds, quote, "Despite improbabilities and likely lies, I was unable to prove who was driving the vehicle at the time of the crash."
I don't feel helped by the police department at all. They have not made any arrests, no citations were issued.
At last check, Salem police say there are no leads on the identity of the driver. Their investigation remains open.
Again, that was Jake Holter reporting for us this morning. There is a GoFundMe, by the way, set up to help Teresa. You can find a link to that fundraiser in the online version of this story at KGW.com.
A 72-year-old man is in custody for allegedly shooting and killing another man at a home near Happy Valley. It happened Friday evening at a home on Southeast East Hampton Street. Deputies say a woman reported her husband had been shot. When they got there, they found 72-year-old David Jurgensen standing outside the house and arrested him. Deputies have not released the name of the man killed, but they say that he was 36 years old and that he knew Jurgensen.
Protesters upset about President Trump's policies marched through downtown Portland on Saturday. A small group gathered around noontime at Waterfront Park for a Rage Against the Regime rally. This was part of a series of protests across the country happening over the weekend against the Trump administration.
I don't like that he's having ICE agents with masks just rounding people up. So that's not America. We need to stop that. Go back to the way we used to be.
Apparently Uncle Sam was in downtown Portland over the weekend. This weekend's protest, by the way, in downtown did remain peaceful.
Meanwhile, some businesses downtown tell us that they're happy to see protests come back. We spoke with community manager in the Midtown Beer Garden on Southwest 5th. They say that they made safety plans earlier this year when they heard the massive anti-Trump protests were planned for downtown. But not only have the protests stayed peaceful, they've been a huge boost in business.
It was amazing. We actually weren't quite prepared for it, but now that we're going on our third protest on August 2nd, we're ready. So what we discovered was that people will gather downtown by the thousands, and they will sit at our community tables, they will order food, and we need to order more food.
The owner of Kel's Irish Pub told us the same thing, but not everyone feels the same. Powell's Books says that they see a noticeable drop in customers on protest days.
Scientists at Washington State University are putting out a warning about deadly blue-green algae in contaminated waterways. They say it's extremely dangerous for pets who swim in contaminated lakes and creeks this time of the year. Algae blooms grow in warm and stagnant fresh water, including lakes and ponds, and they can also grow in neglected swimming pools. Blue-green algae is also dangerous for humans. Scientists say exposure can lead to liver failure, brain injuries, and also rashes.
Check this out. The Clark County Fair, well underway. Self-proclaimed as the best 10 days of summer, there is something for nearly everyone, from live music performances, bull riding and demolition derby, plus contests and a carnival. And there's also a chance to learn the importance of bees from this year's American Honey Queen.
The thing that makes me really happy is when a spark kind of ignites in people's faces. Like, a lot of people aren't aware of how important honeybees are to pollination, as well as just our overall food system. So it's really important to let people know and just have them understand that $19 billion, that's super important to agriculture, and without that we wouldn't be able to have a lot of the food that we eat.
The fair runs through this coming Sunday. Tickets start at $11.50 for ages 7 to 12 and $14.50 for adults.
Rod, you mentioned you were going to go to the fair this coming weekend. Is that correct?
That's right. So 2 years ago, Drew, my niece, Elizabeth Haley, who would have been 6 at the time, they were visiting. They had just come up from California. They went to Disneyland. Here's a 6-year-old who had just been in Disneyland. We take her to the Clark County Fair, and she says, "Uncle Rodney, This was so much fun. This was better than Disneyland.
Wow.
That is the Clark County Fair.
That is the greatest story you could possibly tell for the Clark County Fair.
That's a promo, isn't it, for the
Yes.
Clark? Better than Disneyland, ladies and gentlemen.
Them apples.
I think she really enjoyed going through the livestock barn. She'd never seen cows and pigs.
Disney doesn't have that.
Yeah, they don't have that. Good grief. All right, here's our Salem sky camera. We have cloudy skies over the Capitol. Sometimes the clouds are just up in the North Valley, but today they're pretty widespread. Everything indicates we will see increasing sunshine going into this afternoon. Nice, comfortable day ahead of us. 58 right now in Salem. Similar scene over the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha. Calm wind, 60 degrees is the number. 57 out in Beaverton this morning. Good morning to you. Happy Valley, good morning. 56 is your early temperature. Canby's at 61 and 10 degrees cooler out in Silverton this morning, 51. For you folks, our temperature March this morning takes us up into the only mid-60s if this is correct at noon, and then still shy of 70 at 2 o'clock. So we have a very, very comfortable Monday. Sasha is our KGW Dog of the Day. Use that email address there, dogoftheday@kgw.com, to send us your dog's photo and name, and your dog will become our Dog of the Day. Weather map for today. We've got some weakening showers headed east out of Central Oregon this morning, and there will be the ongoing thunderstorm threat this afternoon. The best threat is the farther east you get toward the Idaho border. Otherwise, all dry, and including the coast, generally increasing sun here on the west side after the cloudiness we have right now. 76 today. Wow. It was 74 yesterday. 77 tomorrow. Wow. 74 Wednesday, and maybe some rain showers in the area right from the get-go. That gets a double wow. And then after that, we start to warm back up, and we could be around 90 degrees this upcoming weekend. Here's Chris.
Does the radar still work? We'll find out on Wednesday. All right, let's get you out the door. We pick it up on the east side through Clackamas, south of Clackamas, actually, Oregon City to Westland over the Abernathy Bridge, southbound onto I-205, puttering along a little bit here. So that's one of our slow spots this morning as to give you the live look here. And it starts slowing basically from Gladstone down to the bridge. Not that that's all that unusual for this hour of a Monday morning commute, but know that it's going to take you a few extra minutes there. I-5 through Wilsonville, still in relatively good shape. I mean, it's busy, but traffic is moving. And a quick check of the Banfield. Westbound 84 is a little thick coming in from the Lloyd Center area, Lloyd District, but not too bad. Quick look at the drive times right now. I-84 about 24 minutes to get you in from Troutdale. I-5 from Clark County, about a 15-minute commute now from Main Street down to the Fremont Bridge. Heads up for TriMet Max Green Line riders. The Max Green Line right now is disrupted. TriMet's using shuttles to serve stops between Southeast Main and Clackamas Town Center. China, they're telling us this is because of a power outage near Southeast Flavel. We'll keep you posted.
Good to know, Chris. Thank you. Coming up, a concerning spike in whooping cough. The case is spreading fast just as kids head back to school. Why doctors are urging parents not to wait on vaccinating their kids against the infection.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
With just a few weeks to go before the start of the school year, whooping cough cases are reportedly on the rise in the U.S.
At the same time, new numbers show more parents of kindergartners are opting out of vaccinations than ever before. Maya Eaglin has more.
Cases of whooping cough spreading across the U.S., especially the Carolinas. And it's coming at a concerning time as millions of kids head back to classrooms.
It can be a very severe disease.
It's technically called pertussis, and it's a bacterial infection causing severe coughing.
My hospital, we had no cases in 2023, 13 in 2024, and already this year, and we're only halfway through the year, we've had 27.
More than 6 times as many whooping cough cases were reported last year compared to 2023, according to the Centers for Disease Control.
How contagious is whooping cough and how dangerous is it?
So first of all, it is quite contagious in very young children. As many as 2/3 will have periods where they stop breathing. About 20% of children who are young will get pneumonia.
The rise in cases comes as new data from the CDC show a record number of children did not receive their recommended vaccinations last school year, with 4.1% of kindergartners opting out of the shots. Most of those vaccine exemptions were given to families citing religious or personal reasons. With both kids and adults at risk, doctors say there are ways you can reduce you and your family's chances of getting sick.
We've been using these vaccines like pertussis for many, many decades. It usually takes about 1 to 3 weeks after you've received any vaccine to get the maximum benefits. So you don't want to wait till the day before school to get your children immunized.
Important reminders for all of us. Maya Eaglin, NBC News.
It was a busy day of dragon boat racing at the Port of Ridgefield to raise money and awareness for breast cancer survivors. The annual Paddle for Life Festival on Saturday included some healthy competition between mixed dragon boat teams, including some survivors and their supporters. More than 50 boats hit the water for races along a 250-meter course, and there was also music, crafts, and food. I said food, Rod.
We got food.
Provided by community partners.
Today is 4 years to the day that I had my surgery for breast cancer, followed by chemo and radiation and more surgeries. And events like this are just so powerful because it brings survivors together to celebrate us moving forward after treatment.
There's so much support, so much energy. This is just, I feel like this sport is all about community and having fun, and this is the most fun cardio I've ever had.
All the proceeds raised during the races help support the Catch-22 Ospreys, Southwest Washington's only all breast cancer survivor dragon boat team. You can make a donation online at paddleforlife.org/donate.
Your time now is 7:46, and listen up to this. Oregon State Parks and Recreation says they are no longer going to be waiving the day use fee at 21 state parks starting October 1st. The day use fee is $10. Oregon State Parks and Recreation says the park system is facing a projected 14% budget shortfall because of costs from managing an increase in visitors. So it will also increase camping and boat fees starting next year.
Rod Hill, by the way, still charging you nothing for his weather forecasts.
Wow.
He's charging the station an arm and a leg, but he's charging you nothing.
Somebody told me we had money coming in. Was I lied to?
Yes, you were.
Good morning. We have another really comfortable day, and that goes with what we've been seeing kind of often so far this summer, right? I've had a lot of conversations over the last week plus of folks coming up to me and saying, hey, Rod, the summer so far, not bad. So if you look at meteorological summer, the months of all of June and all of July, and so far this August, we have not hit 90. We've got 11 90-degree days. The hottest has been 97. And if you do the mean temperature average, each 24-hour temperature, you average what is the average, and you compute that. 1.4 degrees above normal. Now, what's interesting, I think a lot of people are saying the summer's been relatively cool because of the lack of a lot of extreme heat. The 1.4 degrees above normal actually matches what the averages are in our climate warming since about the year 2000, January 1 through the summer months. So we're right on target to keep that going. Rainfall 2.26 is actually above normal. That may surprise you, but we don't get much rain in July. There's not much difference between a wet summer, fresh, and a dry summer, but certainly pleasant so far. August outlooks continue to say above normal. That doesn't mean that we're just going to have a runaway freight train in terms of crazy hot days, but we are expected to get back up to the 90s this coming weekend into the first part of next week. All right, here's Futurecast. This is 2 o'clock this afternoon. Thunderstorm threat hitting you folks, bouncing off of the blues up toward LeGrand. Good morning to you. And then there's a rain cell in Harney County, getting ready to move into Malheur County down around Burns. Otherwise, all dry. Dry in Central Oregon today, a spot that had some severe thunderstorm action yesterday afternoon. Here's tomorrow morning, all dry, no storm chance tomorrow in our state. Then we get a wave of clouds coming in tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Could we have some scattered shower activity Tuesday overnight into Wednesday morning? The chances at least 50-50. Weather models like our chances. In fact, they keep a shower chance alive going into Tuesday afternoon. Weather model picks up some measurable rainfall. To me, I would be really stunned if these numbers weren't generally too much. I mean, could Portland, I'd be happy if we got 5 100ths of an inch or a tenth. This shows 16 100ths. The models do pick up on some heavier rain cells in our northern fringes, including Astoria and Kelso, and print out maybe 4/10. You folks would need to get caught in some pretty good downpours for that to happen. So that's Tuesday night, Wednesday we're looking at. Back to today, here's a beautiful shot of Depot Bay, cloudy skies, a view from the Channel House, and the ocean looks pretty calm out there this morning. Sunshine is expected this afternoon. Pioneer Park building with clouds, and again, sunshine is expected this afternoon. Portland right now 60, Salem 58, and out in Burns it's 60 degrees. 7-day forecast numbers, 70s through Wednesday with that rain chance Wednesday. Then after that, we start to clear out and warm up. We go mid-80s Friday, 89 Saturday, 93 degrees on Sunday. All right, here's Chris.
Thank you for that. Let's get you out the door with a quick look. Well, first off, I want to let you know about this. Over the east side, TriMet reporting a max line disruption because of a possible power outage near southeast Flavel. So the impact right now, the green line is disrupted right now. They're using shuttle buses to serve stops between Southeast Main and Clackamas Town Center. All right, back to your freeway drive out of Clark County, 205 South. Something was hanging up the commute over the Glen Jackson Bridge a couple of minutes ago. Whatever it was, looks like that's cleared out. So happy to show you that. We'll switch gears real quick, show you the other drive out of Clark County, slow and steady over the Interstate Bridge. Right now, you're looking at about 20 minutes to get you in from Main Street down to the Fremont. And nothing quick about that. That's the Sunset inbound. Coming in from Hillsborough, it hits the wall right around 217, and from there it's slow and go the rest of the way in. Right now, Hillsborough to downtown, about 20 minutes. China?
Thank you, Chris.
I still get a lump in my throat when I play.
Still ahead, a 90-year-old veteran who is still answering the call. We'll introduce you to a Navy vet and retired Secret Service agent who played taps at hundreds of military funerals, and why he says this emotional mission is far from over.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
For more than 2 decades, a Mississippi man has honored his fellow veterans by playing taps at their funerals across the South.
Charles Harrington has more on the 90-year-old former Navy pilot and Secret Service agent who has played taps at more than 500 funerals.
I still get a lump in my throat when I play, especially when people come up to me later and say, "We appreciate you playing." And a lot of times I've broken down and actually shed tears because it was so touching.
For 90-year-old Howell Purvis, playing taps is a calling.
I just feel like it's something that I need to do and want to do to honor these men that gave their full sacrifice for our country. You know, that's what it's all about.
Since 2003, Purvis, a U.S. Navy veteran and retired Secret Service agent, has played taps at veterans' funerals all across South Mississippi. 575 funerals, to be exact.
I played at the National Cemetery in Biloxi. I played in Richton, Waynesboro, Columbia, Poplarville, Purvis. All around this area.
Purvis just played his 575th funeral a few weeks ago. He says he has no plans to stop anytime soon.
I just never dreamed I'd be able to play a trumpet at age 90, but I keep plugging away.
The trumpet Purvis plays for all funerals is one that his mother bought him way back in 1952.
Coming up at 8, tariffs, a shocking job report, and a high-profile firing.
Sorry. Coming up at 8 o'clock, new tariffs, a shocking jobs report, and a high-profile firing. Why some experts now say a recession could be looming. That's ahead on Sunrise. And we also want to let you know about the KGW school supply drive. This is China. This is what we were happy about. The fact that this is the first full week of giving here.
I was so excited about this. You messed me up.
I'm sorry. Well, listen, I'll get the information out real quickly now. One of the easiest ways to give is by hopping online and donating cash. You go to kgw.com/school, click that donate cash button. When you give online, you're actually going to get something. This is the part that we found hard to believe. Every time someone gives at that website, they're going to get a pass to the Columbia Sportswear Employee Store in return. So you give a little something, you get a little something through this year's school supply drive. Also a reminder that this week, On Point Community Credit Union is really stepping up. For every $1 that people donate at one of its branches this week, On Point will give $5. So a big thanks this morning to On Point, as well as Safeway and Rick's Custom Fencing for getting behind this year's school supply drive, sponsoring the drive, and making sure it is as successful as possible.